7 strategies that make self-sabotage impossible during your next prop firm challenge. These are not trading strategies. These are mind hacks that every human brain possesses, and they will make it impossible to self-sabotage during your next prop firm challenge. Stick with me. I'm going to show you all 7. If you start using them together and stack them, it'll make your chances of success even higher. My personal favorites, number 5 and number 7. You'll see why in just a bit. 5 is by far the most uncomfortable, but it is the most successful. It increases the rule obedience by 65%. This is the psychology prop firms were hoping to use against you. And now I'm going to show you how to make it work for you. Let's start with a rookie mindset hack, and then we're going to get to the more advanced ones. Here's a rookie mindset hack. Strategy number 1, remove real-time decision making. Every time you make a decision, it requires mental endurance and you introduce emotion. You need to know, if ABC happens, you will do XYZ. If ABC does not happen, you do UVW. Something like that. You need to know that for every entry, every exit, and everything in between. When we make comparisons and decisions, emotions are emitted, and that makes us second guess, and fear and greed and FOMO and everything else affects us. Have those rules laid out before you trade. In a prop firm challenge, every blown account follows the same invisible pattern. You had rules, you saw the setup, you hesitated, you adjusted, you moved your stop, you improv'd the trade, any of those things. Make those rules and preserve mental capacity and keep emotion out of the decision-making process. Now, there is a twist, because even traders who remove decision-making still blow accounts. That's only basic level mindset stuff. Mindset hack and strategy number 2, they make it impossible to sabotage a prop firm challenge. And it is slightly more advanced. Most traders underestimate this. You must cap emotional upside and not just the risk. Most traders are aware of the downside risk, the stop loss, the max drawdowns, the daily loss limit. They know what they're supposed to do with their numbers. With the exception of full-time pros, very few traders will manage the upside risk. Euphoria is statistically dangerous because it gives us a false sense of confidence. Euphoria can come from feeling in control. You think you've got it. You think you know what you're doing. You're not as aware or cautious of the downside, right? On average, people will do much more to avoid loss than they do to gain something new. They are usually much more cautious about the downside. Traders are usually eager and hopeful and even greedy about the upside. But when you're winning, you may even feel a deserved confidence. But winning streaks can be dangerous. True confidence comes from repeatable consequences from something you can control. It does not come from repeatable outcomes produced by a probability. That is a false sense of confidence, and the brain doesn't distinguish between the two. The brain doesn't register winning as danger. It actually opens the doors, or the neurotransmitters as they're called, and they alter your thinking from objective to hopeful. This is why emotional resets are important sometimes. You're not avoiding the emotions. You're not suppressing the emotions. You're expressing them and allowing them to play out, but not on the charts, and not while you're trading. You should take a break. You should never trade out of hope or excitement or eagerness. And this very next mindset hack and strategy will show you exactly how to do that objectively, almost too objectively. Then again, in number 7, my personal favorite, that is where there's another emotion that is far more powerful and yet much safer than fear or euphoria. But before that, let's go to a different perspective, a different paradigm shift from how most people talk about emotions. This next one is what keeps most traders excited to trade and fearful of losing. But in step 3, or strategy number 3, we're going to change that, and it almost feels backwards. If you want to make it impossible to self-sabotage your next prop firm challenge, click the link in the description below. Sign up for the email, and I'll give you more error-tolerant ideas and show you how to neutralize emotional spikes so you will make consistency inevitable. Not the most powerful, but more powerful than fear or greed or FOMO or revenge is boredom. It's one of the hardest emotions to maintain because the brain is looking for stimuli to entice it and to get it to take action. Boredom is psychologically neutral. No emotional spikes, no impulsivity, no adrenaline. And adrenaline can be the enemy of consistency. There is no way to eliminate emotions completely, but there are ways to neutralize them, aka boredom. I'm not defining boredom how most traders think or how most teachers teach or how most coaches coach. It is not the same setup, the same size, the same execution, the same process every single day. I'm defining boredom as not enough on the trade to spike your emotions and not enough on the trade to care about the losses. This will make you an objective trader, and because there isn't enough to win or to lose, emotions won't even interfere with your decision-making process. Excitement can cause rule violation. If there's chasing, there's too much at stake. If there's FOMO, there's too much at stake. If there's revenge trading, the size is too big and there's too much at stake. If there's chasing, there's too much at stake. If there's FOMO, there's too much at stake. If there's revenge trading, there was too much at stake. If there's greed, there was or is too much at stake. If there's fear of losing or moving your stop loss, there is or was too much at stake. You're not suppressing emotions, you're just never triggering them. So you maintain your objectivity when taking the prop firm challenge, and of course, passing them with much more calm and peace of mind. But even boredom has a breaking point. And most traders can only discipline themselves so much before the pressure builds and they need to release. They build up so much internal pressure trying to be disciplined until they go full tilt. So strategy number 4 will help with that. Here's a hard truth, and I've never had a student who liked this advice. Discipline has a shelf life. Every trader has an endurance threshold, and once it is exceeded, discipline breaks. Most sabotage happens after this snap. Re-entering, overanalyzing, revenge setups, micromanaging exits. Not because the setup was bad, sometimes it is, but you overstayed your endurance capacity. You're not weak, but you are human. It's like the gym and lifting weights. You can't go once and get jacked. You have to work at it over time. You're a human, and no one is exempt of flaws and errors, so don't expect flawless 100% execution every single time. It's not possible. This is why other mindset hacks are also needed to keep you honest, and the most uncomfortable one, but the most effective one, is number 5. Strategy number 5. Trade with a partner who is physically present and who knows your strategy as well or better than you do. This one is uncomfortable, people, but the data is brutal. The Milgram study showed that 65% of people obey authority, even when it's uncomfortable to do so. What does that mean for trading? It means when someone else knows your rules as well or better than you do, all rationalization collapses. You can't quietly break rules anymore. You can't lie to yourself, because the moment you do, someone else sees it. And shame is a powerful regulator. Not external, internal shame. Not toxic shame, but accountability. This isn't about being controlled, but it is about removing loopholes. And when you are trying to master this game, when you are trying to pass a prop firm challenge, when identity is on the line, when fear and greed are on the line, there are all kinds of loopholes and rationales. Because self-sabotage thrives in privacy. And most traders don't fail because they don't know better. They fail because no one's watching. Now here's where this gets even stronger. What if rule enforcement didn't even have to rely on people at all? That's strategy number 6. If you want to make it impossible to self-sabotage your next prop firm challenge, click the link in the description below, sign up for the email, and I'll give you more error-tolerant ideas and show you how to neutralize emotional spikes so you will make consistency inevitable. Strategy number 6, externalize rule enforcement. Internal enforcement fails under stress. Over 65% of the time, according to the Milgram and other studies that have been done. External enforcement doesn't care how you feel, it will hold you accountable. So when it's internal, you become the judge and the defendant, and there's a conflict of interest in all of us. So you can come up with a physical paper and checklist. The key is to have it be a physical difference that makes you analyze away from the energy of the trading charts. It cannot be digital, it can't be in the same space, it has to be something separate and physical. This makes it more objective, because now you have a chance to think objectively about the trade and if it checks all the boxes, literally. Check them one by one if you read and agree that each rule is followed. This will minimize the emotional charge when glued to the screen. Trying to make a decision quickly and pressured doesn't work, so switch from emotional mode to analytical mode. That's how it works. You're no longer feeling the trade, you're now evaluating it. And the brain can't fully analyze and emotionally hijack at the same time. That's what you want. That's why pilots, surgeons, and engineers use checklists. Why? Because we're all human. Finally, the strategy that is stronger than fear, greed, revenge, anger, frustration, or FOMO, or all of them together. This one, if done correctly, will overpower them completely. Strategy number 7, trade with curiosity. Discipline is exhausting. Discipline has a shelf life. Curiosity is a rechargeable battery. It releases dopamine to keep you interested. At the start of each trading session, you'll set a curiosity-based goal. Not profit, not performance, curiosity. Like, for instance, curious if my rules keep me green today. Curious if my rules will recover yesterday's loss. Curious if they work 2 days in a row. You come up with the one that you need. You make a new curiosity goal for each trading session. A Pandora box experiment showed curiosity entices the brain even when the subject knew that pain or injury or damage or harm was possible. Curiosity doesn't fight emotion, it overpowers it. And once you're curious, you stop self-sabotaging. You start observing. So you let probability play out. And that's how you make sabotage virtually impossible. Pro traders make it harder to mess up on prop firm challenges. They make self-sabotage impossible. If you want to make it impossible to self-sabotage your next prop firm challenge, click the link in the description below, sign up for the email, and I'll give you more error-tolerant ideas and show you how to neutralize emotional spikes so you will make consistency inevitable.